What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and realized you had $1 billion to your name? While most of us spend years trying to build wealth, there are a few young people in the world today who were able to cross the $1 billion mark before they even hit their 30s. These are individuals who own private islands, launch companies that change the world, and in some cases, inherit family empires worth more than entire countries. Today, we'll explore the youngest billionaires of 2025, uncovering not just who they are, but the shocking truths about how they built or inherited their wealth. Stay until the end, because the number one billionaire on this list will absolutely blow your mind. At number 9 on our list is Ben Francis, a young visionary who has transformed the world of fitness apparel. Born on June 6, 1992, in Bromsgrove, England, Ben grew up as an ordinary boy with an extraordinary passion for fitness and technology. As a teenager, he wasn't the star athlete, but he was deeply fascinated by the gym and how it could transform not just bodies, but lives. What set Ben apart wasn't just his love for working out, but his curiosity about business and design. While most kids his age were playing video games, Ben was busy learning how to code websites and experimenting with ideas that combined his two biggest passions, fitness and entrepreneurship. Ben's journey to becoming a billionaire is as inspiring as it is unconventional. In 2012, while he was still a college student at Aston University, Ben came up with an idea that would eventually change his life. Frustrated by the lack of affordable yet stylish workout gear for young people like him, Ben decided to take matters into his own hands. With no major investors or fancy offices, he started Gymshark right out of his parents' garage with just a sewing machine and a screen printer he bought online. At the time, he was also working part-time as a delivery driver for Pizza Hut, hustling by day and building his dream brand by night. This period of his life is a powerful reminder that great businesses often have humble beginnings. The breakthrough moment for Gymshark came in 2013 when Ben and his small team attended Body Power, one of the UK's biggest fitness expos. Instead of just handing out flyers or samples, Ben focused on connecting directly with influential fitness YouTubers and social media personalities. This was at a time when influencer marketing was still a relatively new concept. By sending Gymshark products to these online creators, Ben was able to generate massive buzz around the brand without spending huge amounts on traditional advertising. Within just 30 days after Body Power, Gymshark's website saw an explosion of sales, with thousands of orders pouring in from around the world. Gymshark's success was built on Ben's ability to understand his audience deeply. Instead of targeting professional athletes or high-end markets, he focused on young, passionate gym-goers who wanted to look and feel good without breaking the bank. He leveraged platforms like Instagram and YouTube years before most big brands realized their potential to create a community-driven brand. This strategy paid off in a big way. By 2016, Gymshark was one of the fastest-growing fitness apparel companies in the UK, and by 2020, it had achieved unicorn status, meaning it was valued at over $1 billion. What's truly remarkable about Ben Francis is that he achieved this level of success at such a young age. In 2020, when Gymshark secured a major investment from General Atlantic, valuing the company at over $1.45 billion, Ben was just 28 years old. This deal not only made him one of the youngest billionaires in the world, but also cemented Gymshark's place as a global powerhouse in the fitness industry. Today, Gymshark operates in more than 180 countries, with millions of dedicated customers and a massive online following. Even as Gymshark has grown into a global brand, Ben has remained deeply involved in its day-to-day operations. Known for his down-to-earth personality, he often shares behind-the-scenes content with fans, showing the challenges and victories of running a billion-dollar company. His leadership style emphasizes innovation, community, and a relentless focus on empowering people to reach their fitness goals. Ben's story is especially inspiring because he didn't come from a wealthy family or a background in big business. Instead, he relied on grit, creativity, and a willingness to take risks. His journey shows that with passion and persistence, anyone can turn a small idea into a global empire. As of 2025, Ben Francis's net worth is estimated to be around $1.3 billion, thanks largely to his stake in Gymshark. The company continues to expand into new markets and product lines, including performance wear, supplements, and even digital fitness platforms. Ben himself has become a role model for young entrepreneurs worldwide, often speaking at events and sharing his experiences to inspire the next generation of business leaders. From delivering pizzas to leading a billion-dollar brand, Ben Francis's rise is nothing short of extraordinary. His story proves that in today's digital world, innovation and community can be far more powerful than traditional marketing or massive budgets. At just 32 years old, Ben has already built a legacy, and it's clear that his journey is only just beginning. At number 8 on our list is Ryan Breslow, one of the boldest and most talked-about figures in the modern fintech world. Born in North Miami Beach, Florida in 1994, Ryan showed an early fascination with technology, problem-solving, and innovation. Unlike many of his peers, he wasn't just playing video games or scrolling through social media. He was teaching himself how to code, experimenting with new ideas, and thinking about how to disrupt industries. Ryan's curiosity eventually led him to Stanford University, where he immersed himself in blockchain technology and digital finance. During his time there, he co-founded the Stanford Bitcoin Group, which explored the possibilities of cryptocurrency long before Bitcoin became a household name. Ryan's journey as an entrepreneur truly began when he turned his focus from crypto to a problem that affects billions of dollars in online commerce: checkout friction. While companies like Amazon offered their own seamless one-click checkout, independent merchants were left with clunky, frustrating systems that drove customers away at the final step of purchase. Ryan saw a massive opportunity and dropped out of Stanford to launch Bolt, a company designed to bring a fast, secure, and frictionless checkout experience to every corner of the internet. His mission was clear: to empower online retailers to compete with giants like Amazon by giving them world-class checkout tools. Under Ryan's leadership, Bolt grew at an astonishing pace. The company raised over $1.3 billion in funding, attracting attention from major investors and positioning itself as a fintech powerhouse. By early 2022, Bolt reached a stunning valuation of $11 billion, making Ryan one of the youngest founders to lead a company of such magnitude. This meteoric rise placed him firmly among the world's youngest billionaires, with his personal net worth estimated at over $1 billion at the time. Ryan became known not only for his vision, but also for his bold and unconventional leadership style. However, rapid success also brought intense scrutiny and challenges. Bolt's explosive growth led to clashes with investors and a series of highly publicized controversies. Questions arose about the company's internal metrics, leadership decisions, and aggressive fundraising tactics. Ryan's outspoken personality, often celebrated in startup culture, became a point of contention as legal disputes and boardroom tensions escalated. These events ultimately resulted in Ryan stepping down as CEO, a move that shocked Silicon Valley and raised questions about Bolt's future. Many thought this would mark the end of Ryan's influence at Bolt, but he wasn't done yet. After a period of intense negotiations and legal battles, Ryan settled disputes with investors and, in 2025, made a dramatic return to the company's leadership. His comeback signaled a new chapter for both Bolt and Ryan himself. Having learned hard lessons from the earlier chaos, Ryan restructured the company's strategy and set out to rebuild trust while continuing to innovate in the e-commerce space. His return was seen as both a redemption arc and a test of whether a bold founder could regain control of a company after such turbulent events. Ryan's story is also remarkable for how much of his wealth has been tied to the volatile world of private valuations. During Bolt's peak, his net worth soared, putting him on lists of the world's youngest billionaires. However, as market conditions shifted and the company faced internal struggles, those numbers fluctuated dramatically. This serves as a reminder of how quickly fortunes can rise and fall in the tech world, especially for founders whose wealth exists primarily on paper. Outside of Bolt, Ryan has pursued a variety of personal projects and passions. He founded The Movement, a nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing people together through dance and community engagement. This reflects a different side of Ryan, one that values culture, creativity, and giving back, in addition to building financial technology. He has also explored other entrepreneurial ventures and continues to share his insights about leadership, recruiting, and innovation with aspiring founders around the world. Ryan Breslau's journey is a story of bold ambition, controversy, and resilience. From a Stanford dropout with a vision to revolutionize online checkout, to leading a multi-billion-dollar company facing public setbacks, and ultimately returning to reclaim his place at the helm, his path has been anything but ordinary. At just 30 years old, Ryan has already experienced the highest highs and lowest lows of startup life. His story raises a profound question for the tech world. Can visionary founders be forgiven for their unconventional methods if they deliver game-changing results? Whatever the answer, Ryan Breslau's legacy is still being written, and his next moves will be closely watched by entrepreneurs and investors alike. At number 7 on our list is Katharina Andresen, the older sister of Alexandra Andresen and another key figure in Norway's most prominent business dynasty. Born in 1995 in Oslo, Norway, Katharina grew up surrounded by both privilege and expectation. As the firstborn daughter of Johan H. Andresen Jr., the head of Ferd AS, Katharina's path was shaped from birth by the weight of her family's legacy. Today, she is one of the youngest billionaires in the world, with an estimated net worth in the billions thanks to her 42% ownership stake in Ferd, the same stake held by her sister. While she shares many similarities with Alexandra, Katharina's journey has been uniquely her own, marked by leadership ambitions, public scrutiny, and the challenge of balancing wealth with purpose. The Andresen family fortune stretches back over 200 years, with roots in Norway's industrial and commercial history. For generations, the family's wealth came from J.L. Tiedemann's Tobakksfabrik, a successful tobacco company founded in the 1800s. However, in the late 20th century, Katharina's father made a transformative decision: to sell the tobacco business and reinvent the family's empire for a new era. This decision led to the creation of Ferd AS, a modern investment firm with a focus on innovation, sustainability, and long-term growth. Under Johan's guidance, Ferd became one of Norway's most influential companies, with investments in everything from renewable energy to technology startups. When Katharina and Alexandra were still teenagers, Johan transferred ownership of Ferd to them, instantly making both sisters billionaires. At just 20 years old, Katharina was thrust into the global spotlight as one of the youngest billionaires alive. This transition was not just a financial milestone, it was a profound moment of responsibility. Overnight, she became a custodian of a family legacy and a key figure in a company whose investments impact thousands of people in Norway and beyond. For Katharina, this was both an incredible privilege and a tremendous burden. As the world watched to see how she would handle her new role, Katharina's approach to her inheritance has been shaped by her education and global perspective. She studied at prestigious institutions and traveled extensively, gaining insights into international business and culture. These experiences have given her a deep understanding of how global markets work and how Ferd can position itself as a leader in sustainable and ethical investing. Katharina has expressed interest in using her wealth and influence to drive positive change, particularly in areas related to environmental protection and social responsibility. This aligns closely with Norway's national values and the family's modern vision for Ferd. Unlike her younger sister Alexandra, who prefers to stay largely out of the public eye, Katharina has occasionally attracted attention for her personal life. A few years ago, she faced public scrutiny after a minor legal issue involving driving under the influence. The incident sparked conversations in Norway about the pressures faced by young heirs and heiresses, as well as the responsibilities that come with immense privilege. Katharina addressed the situation openly, taking accountability and demonstrating maturity in how she handled the fallout. This moment, while difficult, ultimately contributed to her growth as a public figure and leader. Despite these challenges, Katharina has continued to focus on her long-term vision. She has shown a particular interest in guiding Ferd's investments toward industries that will define the future, such as clean energy, technology, and sustainable development. Under her father's mentorship, she has learned the complexities of managing a diverse investment portfolio and navigating the global financial landscape. While she is not yet the operational head of Ferd, her influence as a major shareholder is undeniable, and many expect her to take on a more active leadership role in the coming years. Katharina's story is also one of balancing personal passions with professional responsibilities. Like her sister, she has a strong interest in equestrian sports and has competed at high levels. Horses have been a lifelong love for both sisters, offering a sense of grounding and discipline amid the pressures of wealth and business. Through this shared passion, Katharina and Alexandra have built a public image that combines elegance with strength, reflecting the values of their family and their country. What makes Katharina's journey compelling is the contrast between tradition and modernity. On one hand, she is the heir to a centuries-old fortune and a family legacy rooted in Norway's history. On the other, she is a millennial navigating the rapidly changing world of global finance, technology, and environmental challenges. Her task is not just to preserve wealth, but to redefine what it means to be a responsible billionaire in the 21st century. This includes using her platform to advocate for sustainable business practices and ethical decision-making, setting an example for other young leaders. Today, at just 30 years old, Katharina Andresen stands at a pivotal point in her life and career. She has already achieved a level of financial success most people can only dream of, but her true legacy will be measured by how she chooses to wield her influence. As Ferd expands its global reach, Katharina has the opportunity to shape industries, create jobs, and drive innovation in ways that have a lasting impact. Whether she steps fully into the spotlight or continues to work quietly behind the scenes, her role as a guardian of her family's empire ensures that her decisions will resonate far beyond Norway. Katharina's story reminds us that inherited wealth comes with complex challenges. It is not simply about luxury or privilege, but about stewardship and vision. While she did not build Ferd from the ground up, she now carries the responsibility of guiding it into the future. Her journey is still unfolding, and as she matures as a leader, the world will be watching to see how she balances the weight of history with the possibilities of tomorrow. At number 6 on our list is Austin Russell, a true prodigy in the world of technology and innovation. Born in 1995 in Orange County, California, Austin displayed an exceptional aptitude for science and technology from a very young age. While most kids were fascinated by toys and video games, Austin was already diving deep into physics, optics, and engineering. By the time he was in middle school, he had built his own cell phone, hacked his gaming consoles, and was regularly tinkering with complex projects in his garage. His brilliance caught the attention of educators and mentors early on, who recognized that he wasn't just a bright student. He was a visionary thinker, destined to create something extraordinary. Austin's passion for technology only grew as he got older. By the age of 13, he had already filed his first patent for a groundbreaking water recycling system that helped conserve water during lawn irrigation. This early innovation was a glimpse into the creative problem-solving skills that would later define his career. After graduating high school, Austin enrolled at Stanford University, where he studied physics. But even Stanford's rigorous curriculum couldn't contain his ambitions. When he was just 17 years old, he made the bold decision to drop out of Stanford after receiving a $100,000 Thiel Fellowship, a highly competitive program created by billionaire Peter Thiel to support young entrepreneurs with radical ideas. This move was risky, but Austin was convinced that he had a revolutionary vision that couldn't wait for a degree. That vision became Luminar Technologies, a company Austin founded to develop advanced LiDAR, light detection and ranging systems for autonomous vehicles. At the time, the self-driving car industry was in its infancy, and most companies were struggling to create sensors that were both affordable and accurate. Existing LiDAR systems were either too expensive or too limited in capability. Austin set out to change that by building a next-generation LiDAR system from scratch, one that could provide vehicles with a highly precise, 3D view of their surroundings at a fraction of the cost. This technology was crucial because LiDAR serves as the eyes of autonomous cars, allowing them to detect pedestrians, obstacles, and other vehicles in real time. Building a company from the ground up wasn't easy. For years, Austin and his small team worked tirelessly in secrecy, developing hardware, writing code, and testing prototypes. Many industry veterans doubted that a teenager could disrupt such a complex field dominated by giants like Google and Tesla. But Austin's relentless drive and deep technical knowledge began to pay off. By 2017, Luminar emerged from stealth mode with a LiDAR product that outperformed anything else on the market, impressing automakers and investors alike. Major companies soon partnered with Luminar, including Volvo, Toyota, and Mercedes-Benz, all eager to integrate its cutting-edge sensors into their future self-driving vehicles. The real turning point came in December 2020, when Luminar went public through a SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Company merger. Overnight, the company's valuation skyrocketed, and Austin Russell's net worth soared to over $2.4 billion, making him the world's youngest self-made billionaire at just 25 years old. This achievement was especially remarkable because, unlike many young billionaires who inherited their wealth, Austin built his fortune entirely from his own innovations and risk-taking. His story became an inspiration to young entrepreneurs everywhere, proving that you don't need to follow the traditional path of finishing college to make a massive impact on the world. Despite his rapid rise, Austin remained focused on his mission. He continued to lead Luminar as CEO, guiding the company through partnerships, technological breakthroughs, and the challenges of scaling production. Under his leadership, Luminar expanded beyond the automotive sector, exploring applications for LiDAR in areas like industrial automation, aerospace, and even space exploration. Austin's long-term vision extends far beyond self-driving cars. He sees LiDAR as a key technology that could transform entire industries by giving machines the ability to perceive the world with extraordinary precision. Austin's journey hasn't been without obstacles. The autonomous vehicle industry has faced skepticism, regulatory hurdles, and technical setbacks. Competing companies have stumbled, and public trust in self-driving technology has wavered after high-profile accidents involving other firms. Yet, through it all, Austin has remained a steadfast advocate for safety and innovation. He has repeatedly emphasized that Luminar's technology is designed not just to enable autonomy, but also to prevent accidents and save lives, even in conventional driver assist systems. Beyond business, Austin has demonstrated a growing interest in philanthropy and long-term societal impact. In 2022, he made headlines for acquiring a major stake in Forbes Media, positioning himself as a key figure in shaping the future of global business journalism. This move signaled that his ambitions go beyond technology. He is also thinking about how information, influence, and innovation intersect in the modern world. Today, at just 29 years old, Austin Russell continues to lead Luminar Technologies with the same curiosity and boldness that fueled his early experiments in his garage. His story is a testament to what can happen when passion, intelligence, and courage come together at a young age. From a teenage inventor to a billionaire CEO transforming transportation, Austin represents the next generation of innovators who are not just chasing wealth, but actively shaping the future of humanity. His rise serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most revolutionary ideas come from those who dare to challenge the status quo and who are willing to risk everything to make their vision a reality. At number 5 on our list is Kylie Jenner, one of the youngest self-made billionaires in the world, who turned fame, business acumen, and social media influence into a multi-billion-dollar empire. Born in 1997, Kylie grew up in the spotlight as part of the Kardashian-Jenner family, whose reality show transformed them into global celebrities. Today, at only 28 years old, Kylie has built a thriving business empire that spans cosmetics, skincare, and fashion, making her a defining figure in the modern beauty industry. Kylie's journey into entrepreneurship began with a simple idea: creating high-quality, trendy lip products that resonated with her millions of social media followers. In 2015, she launched Kylie Cosmetics, starting with the iconic Kylie lip kits. Her products sold out within minutes, showcasing not just the power of her brand, but also her remarkable understanding of marketing and consumer demand. What started as a small line quickly grew into a global cosmetics powerhouse, capturing the attention of the beauty industry and consumers alike. The growth of Kylie Cosmetics is a story of innovation and timing. Kylie leveraged her massive Instagram following, which numbered in the tens of millions, to promote her products directly to consumers. She embraced the direct-to-consumer model, prioritizing online sales and limited edition launches, creating a sense of urgency and exclusivity around her products. This approach not only drove revenue but also cultivated a devoted fan base that continues to fuel the brand's success. Kylie's business ventures have expanded far beyond lip kits. Over the years, she launched skincare lines, collaborated with major fashion brands, and even sold a significant stake of Kylie Cosmetics to Coty Inc., valuing the company at nearly $1.2 billion. This strategic move showcased her ability to scale her business and cement her status as one of the most influential entrepreneurs of her generation. Despite her extraordinary success, Kylie remains a private and thoughtful business leader. She carefully balances her public persona with her entrepreneurial endeavors, ensuring that the brand stays authentic and connected to her audience. Her approach to business reflects both creativity and strategic planning, setting a benchmark for young entrepreneurs worldwide. Kylie Jenner's rise also demonstrates the power of personal branding in the digital age. Unlike heirs to traditional family fortunes, Kylie created her wealth by harnessing the influence of social media, cultural trends, and consumer psychology. Her story is not just about money, it is about the ability to turn visibility into a thriving business and influence into lasting impact. As Kylie looks to the future, her potential remains limitless. With continued expansion in beauty, fashion, and digital ventures, she has the platform to shape trends, inspire entrepreneurs, and redefine the possibilities for young business leaders everywhere. At just 28, Kylie Jenner exemplifies how vision, creativity, and strategy can transform celebrity into enduring business legacy. At number 4 on our list is Alexandra Andresen, one of the youngest billionaires in the world and a symbol of old-world wealth meeting modern opportunity. Born in 1996 in Oslo, Norway, Alexandra is part of a family whose name is synonymous with business success and generational prosperity. Her story is quite different from the tech, entrepreneurs, and industrial giants we've discussed. So far, because Alexandra didn't have to build a company from scratch, she was born into a fortune that dates back centuries. Yet her life is far more than just a tale of inherited wealth. It's a story of responsibility, legacy, and carving out a personal identity in the shadow of a powerful family empire. The Andresen family fortune is tied to Ferd AS, one of Norway's largest private investment companies. The company's roots trace back to the 19th century, when the Andresen family owned J.L. Tiedemann's Tobaksfabrik, a major tobacco company. For generations, the tobacco business was the family's cornerstone, bringing in immense profits and establishing the Andresens as one of Norway's wealthiest dynasties. However, as times changed and public attitudes toward tobacco shifted, the family made a bold and strategic decision to sell the tobacco business and pivot to a new model. This marked the birth of Ferd AS, which now focuses on diverse investments in real estate, private equity, and venture capital. Alexandra and her older sister, Katharina Andresen, each inherited 42% of Ferd AS from their father, Johan H. Andresen Jr., when they were still teenagers. This transfer of wealth instantly catapulted Alexandra into billionaire status. At just 19 years old, she became the youngest billionaire in the world, a title she held for several consecutive years. For most people, inheriting such a vast fortune might be overwhelming, but for Alexandra, it came with a deep sense of duty. She has often spoken about the importance of maintaining the family's legacy while also finding her own path and passions. Despite her immense wealth, Alexandra's personal interests are surprisingly down-to-earth and deeply rooted in nature and discipline. She has a profound love for equestrian sports, particularly dressage. Over the years, Alexandra has competed at a professional level, representing Norway in several competitions and earning recognition for her skill and dedication. Horses have been a lifelong passion for her, providing a grounding force amid the complexities of wealth and public attention. Through this sport, she has built a reputation not just as a billionaire heiress, but as an accomplished athlete with her own achievements. Independent of her family's business, what makes Alexandra's story fascinating is how she balances her personal passions with the immense responsibility of her inheritance. Ferd AS is not just a family business. It is a significant player in Norway's economy, with investments that impact thousands of lives. Under the leadership of their father and family advisors, the company has diversified its portfolio to include industries like renewable energy, technology, and sustainable development. This diversification reflects the family's forward-thinking approach and its commitment to staying relevant in a rapidly changing global economy. Alexandra's stake in Ferd means she is deeply connected to these initiatives, even if she doesn't play a day-to-day operational role. Alexandra has also used her platform to advocate for causes close to her heart. While she is notably private compared to many public figures, she has shown interest in environmental sustainability and ethical business practices. This aligns closely with Norway's values as a nation, particularly its emphasis on clean energy and social responsibility. As a young billionaire, Alexandra faces the challenge of using her wealth not just for personal comfort, but to make meaningful contributions to society. Interestingly, despite her wealth, Alexandra has often described herself as someone who values simplicity. She has been photographed at equestrian events and in candid moments that reveal a preference for a quiet, grounded lifestyle rather than extravagant displays of luxury. This humility has endeared her to many, especially in Norway, where cultural norms favor modesty over excess. Her approach stands in stark contrast to some heirs and heiresses around the world who embrace celebrity lifestyles, reminding us that wealth does not always lead to ostentation. Today, at just 28 years old, Alexandra Andresen continues to hold a unique position in the world of billionaires. She represents the intersection of history and modernity, carrying the weight of a family legacy while forging her own identity. As Ferd continues to grow and expand into new global markets, Alexandra's role as a major shareholder ensures that her influence will only increase. Whether she chooses to step into a more active leadership role or remain focused on her personal passions, her journey will be closely watched. Alexandra's story is a powerful reminder that wealth comes with responsibility. Unlike self-made billionaires who build empires from nothing, Alexandra was handed the keys to a kingdom. Her challenge is not in creating wealth, but in preserving, growing, and ethically managing it for future generations. In a world where wealth inequality is a growing issue, the way Alexandra navigates her position will have lasting implications not just for her family but for the communities and industries touched by Ferd's investments. From a teenage billionaire to a poised young woman balancing tradition and modernity, Alexandra Andresen embodies a quieter, more thoughtful side of immense wealth. While she may never seek the spotlight, her influence is undeniable, and her legacy is only beginning to unfold. At number 3 on our list is Wang Zilong, one of the most private and enigmatic young billionaires in the world. Unlike many others on this list who are well-known public figures, Wang has managed to maintain an extraordinarily low profile despite his immense wealth. Born in 1998 in China, very little is publicly known about his upbringing, family life, or education. What we do know is that he comes from a family deeply connected to the industrial and chemical sectors, industries that play a crucial role in China's rapid economic growth. Wang's rise to billionaire status highlights how vast fortunes are often built quietly, far from the spotlight of social media and tech headlines. Wang Zilong's wealth is primarily tied to his significant stake in CNNC Huayuan Titanium Dioxide Co., a leading Chinese company that produces titanium dioxide, a chemical compound used in a wide range of everyday products. Titanium dioxide is a key ingredient in things like paints, plastics, paper, cosmetics, and even some food products. It may not sound as glamorous as high-tech startups or luxury fashion, but it's an essential material in modern manufacturing, and the global demand for it is massive. As China's industries expanded over the past 2 decades, companies like CNNC Huayuan experienced explosive growth, and with it, Wang's fortune grew as well. What makes Wang's story particularly fascinating is how different it is from the typical narrative of a young billionaire. He didn't drop out of college to start a flashy tech company, nor did he inherit a globally recognized family business like many heirs of old wealth. Instead, his rise reflects the power of China's industrial boom, where behind-the-scenes sectors like chemicals and manufacturing have quietly produced enormous fortunes. Wang's ownership stake in CNNC Huayuan is substantial, giving him both financial power and influence over a company that helps supply industries around the world. While Wang is extremely private, we can piece together some elements of his success. CNNC Huayuan Titanium Dioxide Co. has benefited from China's aggressive push to dominate global supply chains, especially in key industrial materials. The company has expanded its production capacity, adopted advanced technologies to improve efficiency, and positioned itself as a major player in the global titanium dioxide market. This growth translated directly into skyrocketing stock prices, and because Wang owns a significant portion of those shares, his net worth surged dramatically in just a few years. By his mid-20s, Wang had become a billionaire, making him one of the youngest billionaires in all of Asia. In many ways, Wang represents a new generation of Chinese wealth, one that is global in scale but deeply rooted in domestic industries. While Western media often focuses on China's tech giants like Alibaba or Tencent, companies like CNNC Huayuan remind us that some of the most powerful forces shaping the world's economy are in sectors we rarely think about. Titanium dioxide might not make headlines, but without it, countless products we use every day simply couldn't exist. Wang's fortune is a direct reflection of this invisible but vital industrial backbone. Despite his success, Wang has deliberately chosen to stay out of the public eye. Unlike other young billionaires who embrace fame or cultivate a personal brand, he avoids interviews, social media, and public appearances. This strategy may stem from cultural values, a desire for privacy, or simply a practical approach to wealth management in a country where visibility can bring both opportunity and risk. His quiet demeanor has sparked curiosity and speculation, with many wondering what his long-term ambitions might be. Will he eventually take a more active role on the global stage, or will he continue to wield influence from behind the scenes? What is clear is that Wang's fortune is still growing. As global demand for titanium dioxide continues to rise, driven by industries like electric vehicles, renewable energy, and construction, CNNC Huayuan's position will only become stronger. Wang is perfectly positioned to benefit from these trends, potentially increasing his wealth even further in the coming years. Some analysts even predict that he could rise to the top tier of global billionaires if the company continues its upward trajectory and expands into new markets. At just 27 years old, Wang's long story is still being written. His journey so far serves as a powerful reminder that not all billionaires are tech visionaries or celebrity entrepreneurs. Some quietly build empires and industries most people never think about, shaping the world through the materials, systems, and infrastructure that form the foundation of modern life. While we may not know much about Wang personally, his success speaks volumes about the opportunities created by China's economic transformation and the global demand for essential resources. As the youngest industrial billionaire in China, Wang Zilong stands at the intersection of tradition and modernity, secrecy and influence. He may never be a household name, but his impact is felt worldwide every time someone opens a can of paint, drives a new car, or uses a product made with the very materials his company produces. His quiet rise to the top proves that sometimes the most powerful individuals are the ones we hear about the least. At number 2 on our list is Kevin David Lehman, a young billionaire whose story proves that some of the world's largest fortunes are often built in industries that quietly power everyday life. Born in 2003 in Germany, Kevin holds the title of one of the youngest billionaires in the world. a distinction he earned not through tech innovation or media attention, but through a family legacy rooted in retail and pharmaceuticals. At just 22 years old, Kevin commands a massive stake in DM Drogerie Markt, one of Europe's largest and most successful drugstore chains. Kevin's journey to billionaire status is unique because, unlike many others on this list, he has lived most of his life out of the spotlight. His father, Guenther Lehmann, is a highly private businessman who spent decades building and nurturing partnerships that helped DM Drogerie Markt become a retail giant. In 1974, Guenther invested heavily in the company, which was founded by entrepreneur Götz Werner. Over the years, DM expanded across Germany and eventually into multiple European countries, becoming a household name known for offering affordable and high-quality products ranging from cosmetics and health goods to baby supplies and household essentials. Today, the company operates over 4,000 stores and generates billions in annual revenue. When Kevin was still a teenager, his father made the decision to transfer his 50% stake in DM Drogerie Markt to him. This single act instantly made Kevin a billionaire and placed him in a position of immense influence. In 2021, when Kevin was just 18 years old, he officially became the world's youngest billionaire, with a net worth estimated at over $2 billion. While this may sound glamorous, Kevin's situation comes with unique challenges. Managing such a vast fortune at a young age requires maturity, strategic thinking, and a strong team of advisors to ensure the wealth is preserved and grown responsibly. What makes Kevin's story especially fascinating is the way DM Drogerie Markt has thrived by staying true to its core values. Unlike many retail companies that chase trends, DM has focused on building trust with customers through transparency, sustainability, and affordability. The company has been at the forefront of eco-friendly initiatives, offering sustainable products and reducing its environmental footprint. This forward-thinking approach has resonated strongly with consumers, especially in Europe, where environmental consciousness is highly valued. Kevin's inheritance is therefore tied not just to financial success, but to a company with a reputation for doing business ethically and responsibly. Despite his incredible wealth, Kevin himself remains largely a mystery to the public. He has never given interviews, rarely appears in public, and maintains a low profile even in Germany. This is by design. Both Kevin and his father value privacy and prefer to avoid the scrutiny and distractions that come with fame. In an era where young billionaires like Kylie Jenner or Mark Zuckerberg are constantly in the public eye, Kevin represents a completely different archetype. The silent billionaire who quietly steers vast resources without seeking attention. This approach has allowed him to focus on learning, growing, and preparing for the day when he may take a more active role in the company's future. Kevin's story is also a reflection of Germany's unique business culture. Unlike some countries where wealth is flaunted, German billionaires often adopt a conservative, understated lifestyle. This philosophy emphasizes long-term stability over short-term flashiness, and Kevin's family embodies these values. While little is known about his personal interests, it is believed that Kevin has been carefully educated and mentored to understand the complexities of the retail industry and global markets. His father's decision to pass on the stake early suggests a deliberate plan to prepare Kevin for eventual leadership, even if he isn't yet involved in day-to-day operations. The growth potential for DM Drogerie Markt remains enormous. With consumer habits shifting toward health and wellness products, and with e-commerce continuing to reshape the retail landscape, the company is well positioned to expand even further. If Kevin chooses to take an active role, he could become a transformative figure in the business, shaping the future of retail in Europe and beyond. Alternatively, he may remain a silent partner, content to let seasoned executives run the company while he focuses on other ventures or philanthropic causes. At just 22 years old, Kevin's future is wide open. His current net worth, estimated at over $3 billion, places him among the most powerful young individuals on the planet. Yet, unlike many of his peers, his wealth is deeply rooted in a stable, long-term business model rather than the volatile swings of tech startups or cryptocurrency markets. This gives Kevin a unique advantage, the ability to build quietly and steadily, without the constant risk of dramatic rises and falls that other young billionaires face. Kevin David Lehman's story reminds us that not all billionaires are innovators or public figures. Some inherit fortunes built over decades of hard work and strategy, stepping into roles that require stewardship and responsibility. His path will be defined not by how quickly he grows his wealth, but by how wisely he manages it. In a world obsessed with celebrity and speed, Kevin's quiet rise stands as a powerful example of patience, privacy, and the enduring strength of well-built businesses. As he matures, Kevin has the potential to become a leading figure in the global retail industry or to branch out into entirely new sectors. For now, he remains a symbol of understated power, a young billionaire who has already made history simply by holding the keys to one of Europe's most trusted and influential retail empires. At number 1 on our list is Clemente Del Vecchio, a young billionaire who inherited not just immense wealth, but also the legacy of one of the world's most influential business empires. Born in 2004, Clemente is the son of Leonardo Del Vecchio, the legendary Italian businessman who founded Luxottica, the largest eyewear company in the world. Today, at only 20 years old, Clemente holds a significant stake in his family's business empire, making him one of the youngest billionaires on the planet and a rising figure in the global luxury and fashion industry. Luxottica's story is one of vision, perseverance, and innovation. Leonardo Del Vecchio, Clemente's father, came from very humble beginnings. Orphaned at a young age, he grew up in poverty and began working in a factory at the age of 14. Through sheer determination and relentless hard work, he founded Luxottica in 1961 with the dream of transforming eyewear from a simple medical necessity into a fashion statement. Over the decades, he turned this dream into reality, acquiring world-renowned brands like Ray-Ban, Oakley, and Persol, while also producing eyewear for luxury giants such as Prada, Chanel, and Versace. Today, Luxottica dominates the global eyewear market, with millions of people around the world wearing its products daily. Clemente grew up in the midst of this extraordinary legacy. While much of his childhood was private, it is clear that his father intentionally groomed him and his siblings to understand the weight of the family business. In 2022, when Leonardo Del Vecchio passed away, Clemente and his family inherited a vast fortune and significant control over the empire. At just 18 years old, Clemente became one of the world's youngest billionaires, with his share of the inheritance estimated to be worth over $3.5 billion. This staggering wealth came not from luck, but from decades of his father's tireless work building Luxottica into a global powerhouse. The empire Clemente now helps oversee extends far beyond eyewear. Leonardo had strategically expanded his holdings through Delphin, the family's investment company. Delphin owns major stakes in companies across banking, insurance, and real estate, including investments in Mediobanca, Generali Group, and Essilor-Luxottica, the merged entity that combines Luxottica with the French lens manufacturer Essilor. This diversification ensures that Clemente's wealth and influence stretch across multiple industries, giving him a unique platform to shape global markets. What makes Clemente's story especially compelling is the way it represents the passing of a visionary legacy to a new generation. Unlike many heirs who grow up distant from the businesses they inherit, Clemente is reported to have a deep interest in understanding the operations and strategy behind the empire. Though he is still very young, he has already begun to take on more responsibility, working alongside seasoned executives to learn the intricacies of running a multinational corporation. His role may currently be quiet, but his presence signals the continuation of his father's dream. The eyewear industry itself continues to thrive, fueled by increasing global demand for both prescription glasses and luxury fashion items. Luxottica's dominance is unmatched, with its products sold in thousands of stores worldwide and through popular retail chains like Sunglass Hut. The company has also embraced e-commerce, expanding its digital reach to connect directly with younger consumers. Clemente's generation brings a fresh perspective to this digital transformation, positioning the company to stay relevant in a rapidly changing marketplace. Despite his incredible wealth, Clemente has managed to maintain a low profile. Much like Kevin David Lehman, he avoids the limelight, preferring to focus on learning and growing behind the scenes. This discretion is likely a strategic choice, allowing him to build credibility and experience before stepping into a more public leadership role. In an age where many young billionaires are thrust into fame, Clemente's quiet approach reflects a maturity beyond his years. Clemente's rise also highlights the importance of succession planning in family businesses. Leonardo Del Vecchio spent years carefully preparing for the future, ensuring that his empire would remain stable after his passing. By spreading ownership among his children and creating a solid governance structure, he set the stage for long-term growth and stability. Clemente's role is part of this broader vision, representing both continuity and the potential for innovation. As Clemente looks to the future, the opportunities before him are limitless. With Luxottica continuing to expand and Delphin's investments growing, he has the chance to influence industries far beyond eyewear. Whether he chooses to focus on fashion, finance, or philanthropy, his decisions will have ripple effects across the global economy. Moreover, as a young leader, he has the potential to bring fresh ideas about sustainability, digital transformation, and social responsibility to the family business. At just 20 years old, Clemente Del Vecchio is already a key figure in one of the most powerful business dynasties in the world. His story is a testament to the power of vision, legacy, and preparation. While the world watches to see how he will shape his inheritance, one thing is certain: the Del Vecchio name will continue to be synonymous with excellence, innovation, and global influence for generations to come. Looking across this list, a clear pattern emerges. 6 out of 9 billionaires inherited their wealth, highlighting the lasting power of family dynasties. The others built their fortunes through innovation and entrepreneurship, especially in tech, and nearly all of them made bold moves at a very young age. It raises a powerful question: is becoming a billionaire a matter of luck or the courage to seize opportunities most people never see? Which of these billionaires surprised you the most? Drop their name in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and remember, behind every great fortune, there's a story waiting to be told.